If you're looking to build a career in data science, this is a question I got recently asked. What should I do? What should I focus on if I'm just getting started? If you are a student who's just getting started in data science, and when I talk about careers in data science, it's not just focused on AI or machine learning. It can be even data engineering and BI or being a business analyst. How should you go about building a career, and what should be the perspective for any newcomer in the industry? And what should you do? How should you go about building a career? This was a question which got asked to me by one friend, or actually a person who was just getting his career started. So yeah, if you are looking to build a career in data science, I would suggest the first 2 years should be completely be a sponge. And what I mean by that is you should not even try to think about, oh, I want to only do data engineering, I only want to do BI, or I want to focus on AI, ML, deep learning. No, you should ensure that in the first 2 years you become a sponge and you absorb and provide and become, or actually do variety of roles. Or even if you have joined a company which have typecasted you in a specific role, whether it's data engineering, business intelligence, or visualization, or data science, or AI, or being a business analyst, or being a data labeler, I would recommend you to not only focus on that role, but also try your hands whether the company is offering you, allowing you to be or participate in hackathons or participate in other initiatives within the organization. And if you are feeling restricted that the organization doesn't provide you that platform, there are many platforms which are available within the industry which allows you to dabble your hands in variety of areas so that you understand what you are good at and what you like and what you don't like. More importantly, as things evolve, the industry has now, today there are talks about 300 plus roles within the industry, specifically when it comes to data science and AI. And it's difficult to go ahead and think about, oh, this is the only career I want to choose. And I would suggest the mistakes which has happened in the past, specifically when we saw technology boom happening and there were many individuals who were building their careers when it came to tech, and they were only focused on one skill. Till date they've been just performing that role. If you're like me, I would be bored. I would be bored as hell. They're just performing that one role forever. And this entire industry, which is the data science industry, the AI industry, is still evolving. There is innovation happening at every day. There is newer technologies, newer piece of softwares, newer leaps, like the recent one which is all about conversational AI or long language models, are just evolving still. There's so much to be done, there's so much to be explored, and just getting fixated, oh, I just want to build a career being a data engineer, or build up just focus on taking the paths of data engineer, I would suggest that's a wrong myth, and that shouldn't be a practice. Now, is that a wrong practice? The answer may be no. People are with the perspectives, oh, I'm very passionate about data, I just want to be focused on cloud, or I want to be focused on doing data engineering, but I just want to there's nothing wrong in that, but I'll just give you a few thoughts. For example, about 4 or 5 years ago, or even 10 years ago, there was a big hype about Hadoop and big hype about big data and how Hadoop as an infrastructure is going to scale up. And I very well know there were a lot of individuals who actually built their career around Hadoop and Hadoop ecosystem. Today, frankly speaking, with cloud coming in, nobody speaks about Hadoop. So these technologies are transient, tech is transient. So thinking about, and your career isn't transient. Yes, it is a journey. You cannot plan forward. When you look back, you will be able to connect all the dots. But when you look forward, you will not be able to identify, okay, how things are going to work and not work. And that is something which I would recommend you to think about if you are choosing a career within data science, because a career in data science is very tricky. I would use that word, because the industry, as I said earlier, is evolving at a much more rapid pace, and it's difficult to keep up. Candidly, just giving you a practical live example, I've been in the industry now for close to 20 years, but still today I'm not aware of every new piece of technology or innovation or IP or patents which are being filed by different companies, and it's humanly impossible to do that. Yes, we are all in our own cocoons. We are all in our own dimensions of what we are trying to achieve, but at the same time, most of this focus on that you just want to do that one thing doesn't help, and that's something which I have learned in the last 20 years, that just being focused on one thing and being apprehensive, or more importantly being in disagreement, or there are something else which I can evaluate or evolve into. If that was the case, I would have not been here where I am today within the data science career specifically. Things would have been very different for me. Things have been very different for me because I have kept my mind pretty open. When I look back, I would suggest way back in 2002, I used to learn SQL programming, and I used to write SQL codes. And after that, my career options never allowed me to use SQL codes. Or in fact, I also learned programming. I used to do programming in Visual Basics and C++. I don't know if you've heard about these platforms, but I learned that. Now, if I speed forward, and this was 2002, 2001, but I speed forward, all that came back to use when I had a program, or when I was actually working on a program in 2014, where I had to use SQL. I was working with the team. We were all collectively trying to solve a particular problem, and those skills or those knowledge of writing SQL scripts actually came into big use for me personally, and it became a big differentiator and actually earned a lot of respect in front of my team members as well as my peers, where they saw me coding and they thought always Anis is somebody who doesn't know how to code or doesn't know how to, he's just a management guy. So that really changed, but I learned it because way back in 2002, I just learned it because I was trying to, I had fascination towards technology, and that's where I spent my time. And that word fascination is critical here. You really need to be fascinated with technology and the surrounding areas of technology. So that's one thing which I would really recommend if you're really looking to start your career, is be fascinated with technology. Dabble your hands with any new piece of tech or software, or I would say methodology or science which is being released, so that you get to know about it. And it's not just get to know about it, but how do you apply? And that brings the second dimension, which is the application of that tech, data, science, methodology or perspectives. It is critical for you to focus on thinking about, okay, how would you apply that particular piece which you've learned in a real world scenario, whether it's in the business sense or in the personal sense. And that fascination is critical from a understanding on the business application perspective, because that has been a secret sauce for me, where I have really focused on, if you have to ask me today, can I code on Python? The answer is no. Can I go ahead and explain or write a neural network, or I can explain a neural network, but can I go ahead and code a neural network algorithm? The answer is no. And that's where I have chosen my career, is not to get into the coding aspect, but understand the business side of it, and work with executives, work with businesses to drive the applications of AI, and how can AI really be a game changer when it comes to driving business impact. But largely, I would suggest that when you're thinking of building a career in data science, those two aspects, the fascination towards technology and the fascination towards understanding the business application of that technology, will really help you take you far off. And especially if you're starting your career, I would recommend you to be a sponge. Do not try to uh, get fixated. And even if you're fixated, I would still suggest have that fascination towards technology, so that you can learn and keep evolving and not just get outdated or redundant, because technology is evolving at a much more rapid pace. As I gave an example of Hadoop, you basically need to start evolving and start driving your learning paths, and ensure that you are learning every year and ensure that you're learning every day, if possible, with and keeping yourself abreast about these newer technologies. And today so much is available free. You don't even have to spend money to learn. You can not only learn, but you can also apply, and if given an opportunity you can teach also, so that your learning becomes more powerful. And that perspective will really help you to be successful and build a successful data science career within the industry. And hopefully these two tips and my perspective on how to build a data science career will help. If you haven't yet subscribed to my channel, I would highly recommend you to do that. And if you have any feedback about today's video, or you want to know more about how to build a career in data science, please do reach out to me or leave a comment, and I'll happily share my perspective with you. And I look forward to hearing back from you. So please take care of yourself, stay safe, and be blessed.